ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਆਫ ਦ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ੋ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਵਾਉਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਅੰਤਰਰਾਸ਼ਟਰੀ ਪੱਧਰ ਤੇ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਰਾਈਟਰ, ਇੱਕ ਮੋਟੀਵੇਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਪੀਕਰ ਤੇ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਸਲਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੂਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਪਾਵਰ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਪੌਲਾ ਫੈਲਿੰਗਹਮ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹਨ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ। ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਇੱਕ ਨਾਮਵਰ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਨੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਅਵਾਰਡਸ ਮਿਲੇ ਨੇ। ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟ ਬਰਾਕ ਓਬਾਮਾ, ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟ ਜਾਰਜ ਬੁਸ਼, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਯੂਨਾਈਟਿਡ ਨੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਪੀਚਸ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਰਹੇਗਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਅੱਜ ਸਥਿਤੀ ਬਣੀ ਪਈ ਹੈ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਚਲਾਈ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੈ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਪੀਸ ਇਨੀਸ਼ੀਏਟਿਵ। ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਆਓ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ ਹਾਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਪੌਲਾ ਫੈਲਿੰਗਹਮ ਤੋਂ। Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you. There are so many accolades which you have. I think the whole program will finish if I focus on that. But definitely would like to know, you are a writer, you are a motivational speaker, a global mentor, you go all over and trying to empower everyone. So how did this journey start?
I love that you mentioned these different things, but the most important thing is that I'm a mother. That's my most important role. I've been married 45 years.
Wow. Wow.
And I have these 8 children and 24 grandchildren. And it was really in an effort to understand how to be the best mother I could. And I started learning about parenting.
Right.
And then I started writing. And then as I taught parenting for so many years, I realized that I didn't know how to help people create change in their life. So then I created the book Believe It, Become It,
right.
and that took me on a different journey, and I started speaking globally. And as I went out into the world, I fell in love with the people of the world. I really became addicted to being able to help them and to educate and to lift them, and they taught me as much as I taught them. But what happened is then I realized the great need in the world, and I wanted to help create change, to make a difference, as everyone does want to do.
So it started from home and it has spread all over the world. Great.
It does, yes.
Now, what we find today is you are the author of 6 books, like Believe It, Become It is one of international sensation, I would say, and I had the opportunity to read this book, and I'm really pleased. You have really brought the gist of everything and written in this book and how we can, absolutely.
And that's the difference. If you write very academically and it's too complicated, then it can't touch the heart, I don't think, as well. If you just take these beautiful eternal principles, these concepts, and pull them down so that people can really understand them, that makes for a better message and a better book.
Absolutely. What about the other 5 books which you have written? What have you focused on those?
Oh, so one is wealth mastery for women, because I know that we need to have that financial stability.
Right.
And then I also wrote the Book of Values for children of all ages. It takes 76 values like optimism, determination, integrity, honesty, and it teaches. And then it has a story for young children,
right,
and then a story for older children, hence the Book of Values for children of all ages, and discussion questions. You could tell I feel passionate about that book. It's a wonderful piece to help teach children. And then I wrote a book, Goals for Extraordinary Living. So that some people write the same goals every year. And I thought, let's help them out and write the goals, and then how to attain the goals, and then a positive crisis, which I can talk about later, but putting yourself in a positive crisis to be able to reach those goals. And then the solutions for families. And then I wrote the solutions for LDS families. It's for a particular spiritual path, and I wrote to help them. And so those were the 6. I think we got them.
Right, and of course the solutions for families.
The solutions for families, yes,
right.
Yes, absolutely. And a parent's guide. I almost forgot. I was counting them. A parent's guide. It's called Instructions You Always Wanted, because of course the children don't come with an instruction book, so I gave that to them.
That's wonderful. Well, when you talk about the values, and especially for the children, the way the world is changing and the way in the world which we are living today, those values are mostly theorized. We talk about those, but when it comes to practice, we people just run away from that. So if we are able to put in the minds of the youngsters at an early age, definitely, they can become better human beings, and that is what we need today.
Well, we have to remember that Albert Schweitzer said that there's 3 ways to teach a child, and I totally agree with this. The first is by example.
Yeah.
The second is by example,
and the third is by example. Absolutely.
You got it, because the children mimic. This is how they learn.
Right.
So if you use a harsh tone of voice, what do you expect?
Right.
They're going to use the harsh tone of voice. So they watch you very carefully. As much as parents, we don't want to admit this, it really is up to us how the tone that we set in the home.
Right. How did you get involved with the Women International Network, which you started? What was the idea behind it, and why did you feel that this is a very important issue which needs to be addressed?
And it's the Women's Information Network, and they could go to women'sinformationnetwork.com and learn about it. Because women, they're the heart of the home, and you've heard this before, and so many women are searching for solutions in their lives, because if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And
Absolutely.
so I help the mamas be happier and teach them these important principles. But then how do we do this? So I went out into the world and I put on 42 global women's summits in 17 countries to prove the model. So I put on multiple in the United States and in other places. I've put them on in Bangalore and Hyderabad and Delhi and Mount Abu, just for example in India. But being able to teach these principles at live events in the nations, not just online or through books, which are important, but then live events where hearts can be touched and lives can be changed.
That's really commendable, and of course the kind of response what you got is overwhelming, and how people's lives have changed. We'll go for a short break, come back and learn more about how this Women International Network is kind of bringing a revolution in the minds of women in other societies. Let's go for a short break.
Thank you.
ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਜੋ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੋਈ ਇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਪਾਲਾ ਫੈਲਿੰਘਮ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹਨ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ, ਅੱਜ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਈਟਰ ਨੇ 6 ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਲਿਖ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ। 6 ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੋਸਟਲੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫੋਕਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ, ਔਰਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ, ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਆਮ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਅੱਜ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਮਟੀਰੀਅਲਿਸਟਿਕ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਪੂਰੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਮਾਨਸਿਕ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ, ਇਮੋਸ਼ਨਲ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਬੈਂਕਰਪਟ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਿਲੀਵ ਇਟ ਬਿਕਮ ਇਟ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ। ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਟਰ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਬਣਨ ਮਾਂ ਬਾਪ ਦੇ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਵੈਲਿਊਜ਼ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਸਕੀਏ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ। ਵਿਮਨ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਇੱਕ ਉਹ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਸੈਮੀਨਾਰਸ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, 1-on-1, ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ। ਯਾਨੀ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ, ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਕੇ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੀ। ਹਰ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੇ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਮਟੀਰੀਅਲ ਲਈ ਕੈਨੈਕਸ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਸਪਲਾਈਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ। ਔਨ ਟਾਈਮ ਡਿਲੀਵਰੀ, ਕੰਪੀਟੀਟਿਵ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਐਕਸਪਰਟ ਇਨਵੈਂਟਰੀ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਹਨ। ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਲੰਬਰ, ਸਟੱਡਸ, ਹਾਰਡਵੇਅਰ, ਡੈਕਸ, ਰੇਲਿੰਗਸ, ਡੋਰਸ, ਵਿੰਡੋਜ਼, ਮੇਸਨਰੀ ਆਦਿ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਵਾਜਬ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਉਪਲਬਧ ਹੈ। ਬਰੂਸ ਕੀਲਰ ਜੋ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਕੰਮਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ, ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਅਜ਼ਮਾ ਕੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਵੇਖੋ। 604 858 1840 kenexbuilding.com। ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਹਨ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਪੌਲਾ ਫੈਲਿੰਘਹੈਮ, ਅਤੇ ਜੋ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਤਾ ਹਨ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ 8 ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ, 24 ਗ੍ਰੈਂਡਸਨ ਨੇ, ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਘਰੋਂ ਇਹ ਸੋਚ ਲਿਆਂਦੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਮਾਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਿਹਤਰੀ ਆ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਵਿਮਨ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ ਜੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਅੰਤਰਰਾਸ਼ਟਰੀ ਪੱਧਰ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਆਓ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। So, as you mentioned that you have been going all over the world, holding seminars, talking to the people. What is coming forward? Like today, as far as materialistic needs are concerned, there is no dearth. We are having everything, but despite that happiness is eluding us. People are not happy, and especially when we talk about women. Statistics point out, which is very, very sad, that even in developed countries also women are suppressed. And as far as the developing countries are concerned or undeveloped nations are concerned, we know what the statistics are. So what do you feel? You have been moving around talking to the people. Why women still in the 21st century are suppressed? They are at the receiving end.
Well, this might come as a surprise to you, but it's their choice. And if they really understand choice, they could understand that they choose their own responses to life. And no matter what happens around them, they can choose to be joyful. And some of my friends who live in 10,000 square foot homes and they have so much wealth are less happy than some of my friends in the Kibera slums in Nairobi, Kenya, Africa, where I have 1 million people live in 1 square mile in those slums, and yet some of them, my sisters there, are happier than the wealthy ones. So what makes the difference?
Right.
Here it is. Here's the secret. I'm going to talk right to the audience.
Sure.
You can create your own happiness. That happiness comes from within. We all have God's light within us, and we can choose to make that light burn brightly, and no matter what happens around us. And some of you might think, well, you don't understand, Paula. You know, you've had an easy life, you lived it up, and you make assumptions, but we all have our challenges, and we've all been, most of us, well, I'm 68 years old, have been in the refiner's fire, and we come out stronger or we come out broken, and that is a choice. So in my book, Believe It, Become It, I teach these wonderful concepts, and I'd like to actually share some of the ways that you can create your own.
Absolutely, we will love to learn from you about that. But before that,
Yes.
Women Information Network, which you started, but along
Yes.
with that, Global Peace Initiative also is one
Yes.
movement which you have initiated.
Yes.
What is that? Tell us about that.
The Global Prosperity and Peace Initiative.
Yes.
So they could go to prosperityandpeaceinitiative.org and learn all about it. What this is this is a magnificent mission to increase the level of love, prosperity, and peace on earth in 196 nations.
Right.
Because I've been out there so far, and because people are yearning for solutions, and what we know is that because of the internet and because of everything that's brought us to this point in the history of the world, now is the ideal time to
Right.
be able to do this. Why? Because we have the wonderful relationships, we have the people in every nation who want more prosperity and peace, and we have the content, grassroots lessons and wonderful curriculum to teach. Now, why is this a perfect time? In part because we can deliver this even to those slums on the phone. And even 5 years ago, it wasn't as easy as it is
Right.
now to be able to take that and download the content, read, have the lessons to teach the children in the home, have the how to start and grow a business anywhere in the world,
Right.
on the phone. So it's thrilling because now is the perfect time. We have the people in place, we have the content, and so anyone who'd like to learn more could go to prosperityandpeaceinitiative.org and learn about it.
You're very passionate about working with youngsters also, and especially
yes.
you are now in Surrey, and you have had some good meetings and seminars over here also, where you are concerned about the increasing violence in the community,
Yes.
and especially our youngsters
Yes.
going towards violence. So
Yes.
what do you feel, what's happening and what needs to be done?
What needs to be done is we prevent it.
Right.
When they're young, we teach them these principles, these character building values, and we exemplify them in our homes, and we love them. If a child knows in the deepest recesses of his or her being that he or she is loved,
Right.
then if there's not a great gap to fill, if they're feeling love there, they oftentimes usually will not seek love elsewhere, or filling the gaps in their life elsewhere.
Right.
If they're filled in the home. And so instead of looking for more things to own, more, what I'd love to suggest is that we spend more time
Right.
teaching and just having activities and spending time with a family, because there is no substitute
Right.
for quality and quantity time with your children.
Right. Dr. Paula, that's a very important point what you have touched, but unfortunately what we are finding out is while we love to talk about the values, but when it comes on our own, we
Yes.
run away from that. And that probably is the reason that our children also, we don't become examples for them, and they also know that it's more of a double talk what is being talked about. So you, as you go and talk to the youngsters, to the parents, to the families, you talk about spending quality and quantity time. You
Yes.
talk about being examples
Yes.
for our children.
Yes.
But the way, the glamour, the glorification of that life where with money everything is possible, and then what is being projected when youngsters get attuned towards violence or gangs, what happens is they are shown a different kind of life, but actually it is not that what it is. So what do you feel, again as you said, that we need to become examples, but as parents, every parent would love and wants their children to be better, but why is it, where is that gap what you see in actuality which is creating problems? I would like to have this answer. Let's go for a short break.
Okay.
And we'd love to know what parents can do and what the children need to do.
Thank you.
ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਜੋ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੋਈ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਪਾਲਾ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ 6 ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਲਿਖੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੁੱਖ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਵਿਮਨ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਖ ਮਕਸਦ ਹੈ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਪਾਵਰ ਕਰਨਾ। ਗਲੋਬਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਸਪੈਰਿਟੀ ਅਤੇ ਪੀਸ ਇਨੀਸ਼ੀਏਟਿਵ ਜੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਲਾਂਚ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਦਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ ਪਿਆਰ ਵਧੇ, ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਤਫਾਕ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਵਧੇ ਅਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਲੂਸਿਵ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵਧੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ 10,000 ਸਕੁਅਰ ਫੁੱਟ ਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਘਰ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋਵੋ, ਜਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਨੈਰੋਬੀ ਦੀ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ 1 ਮੀਲ ਸਕੁਅਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਲੋਕ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨੇ, ਲੋਕ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਚੋਇਸਿਸ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਨੇ, ਇਨਵਾਇਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦਾ ਸਾਡੇ 'ਤੇ ਅਸਰ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ 'ਤੇ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਮ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਬਾਹਰਲੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਅਸਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਬੂਲ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਦਰ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ। ਸਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਆ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਸੈਮੀਨਾਰਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਅੱਜ ਤੇ ਗੈਂਗਸ ਵੱਲ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਵਾਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਜੁੜ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਉਸ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਖ ਕਾਰਨ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਂ-ਬਾਪ ਜੋ ਹਨ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਅਤੇ ਕੁਆਂਟੀਟੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਨ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲਸ ਬਣਨ। ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਵੈਲਿਊਜ਼ ਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣੀਆਂ ਲੱਗਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਪੈਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਰ ਕੋਈ ਭੱਜ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਲੈਣੇ ਇਸ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ।
ਜਦੋਂ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਝਟਕਾ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹਰ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਭਵਿੱਖ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸਿੰਘ ਥਿੰਦ ਐਂਡ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਟਸ ਨੇ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ, ICBC ਅਤੇ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੇਸਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੇ ਕਈ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੱਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਾਖੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਪਰੀਮ ਕੋਰਟ ਆਫ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਤੱਕ ਵੱਡੇ ਕੇਸਾਂ ਦੀ ਪੈਰਵੀ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਤਜਰਬਾ ਹੈ।
Hello, I'm Amandeep Singh.
And I'm Justin Thind. You're lawyers.
Because we care.
604 543 3886 ਤੇ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ।
Once again, welcome back to the program. ਡਾਕਟਰ ਪੌਲਾ ਫੈਲਿੰਗਹੈਮ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਅੱਜ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਨੇ, ਅੱਜ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਮੂਵਮੈਂਟ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਜੁੜਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਪਿਆਰ, ਇਤਫਾਕ ਅਤੇ ਪੀਸ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਐਜ਼ ਐਂਬੈਸਡਰਸ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਵਾਲ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਅਤੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਕੀ ਕਰਨ, ਆਓ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣ। So before the break, as I asked you,
Yes.
parents, what they need to do and what the children need to do.
Well, there needs to come a time in every parent's life where they make a decision. And sometimes it's when their children are 5, 7, 10, or maybe it's when they're 17, 18, 20, 30, whenever they come to an enlightenment and understanding and a decision in their heart that some things need to change,
Right.
then as difficult as it is, they need to let go of some of the things that are sucking their time away and
Right.
decide, there's sometimes better and best, but to choose the best. And the best especially during the formative years of the children, is to say, I can do without that other car or that new car. I can do without that job. And I can come home. I can be there. And yet at the same time that I say that, I don't want the ones who need to work to put food on the table to feel guilty and say, well, I can't do that. Then you work it out in your family. But we all know that we can spend more time if that's a choice with our children, and not just more time, but quality, teaching them, being with them, listening carefully. And there's so many things I could teach as a parenting expert, but being able to really be there with your child and thinking of their life and their experiences, and not just what you need to do is really love the child, and that is manifested in many different ways. And one of them, not just time with them, but the quality time, is doing things that perhaps they want to do. Not allowing your children to disrespect you.
Right.
And sometimes some parents say to me, well, but I've already made some of these mistakes. What can I do to reverse it? And again, you take that time with your child, and you might sit next to that teenager and you say, you know what? I've learned some things that now I'm going to be doing, and I've made a few mistakes, but it didn't come with I didn't have a manual, and I really did make some mistakes. And so what I'd like to do moving forward is make some changes. And our whole family needs to make these changes.
So open and transparent communication is the most important factor.
It is very important, and that means listening. That's
Right.
not just talking, that's listening and hearing between the lines,
Right.
watching their body language and seeing when you're speaking to them, are they looking away, are they looking down? Engaging with them in their heart and just being open and transparent, but not trying to be their best friend. Friends, you want to have a loving relationship with your
Right.
children, but you still need, you're the parent.
Yeah.
That's your responsibility, and you need to do it kindly and firmly.
Right.
That's the secret. You need to be kind, always kind.
Right.
But you need to be firm, and when they hit those boundaries and they're disobeying, then there need to be consequences, and that gets us. I could do a whole show.
And we will be doing one on solutions for families, you know,
Okay.
the book which you have written.
You
and
get
from
me
that,
started, it's like
absolutely.
turning on-
I'm just trying to get some starters of everything what you do.
Wonderful, thank
So
you.
what about the youngsters? Because youngsters
Yes.
today feel that they know everything in this technological age. Their parents are outdated, they don't know about things. So what would be your message to them?
To the children,
Yeah.
treat your children with your parents with respect. This
Right.
is a law. This is something we're taught, and
Right.
it's something that if there needs to be the parents need to be respectable. They need to be able to qualify for the children's respect. But the moment that child disrespects you and starts speaking to you like you're the child, then the parent needs to put a stop to that. Actually, the children will treat you however you teach them to treat you. It's true.
Right.
And the minute that they say, "Oh, you don't know anything, Mom,"
Right.
oh, see, you just say, first of all, there are two things wrong with that, honey. Your tone of voice and your disrespect for me.
Right.
And that hurt my heart. I would never speak to you that way.
Right.
And then you need to not speak to them that way. And then you have a discussion and you talk to that child about how we don't disrespect our parents.
Right.
And it's unacceptable in our home. See, I didn't use the word no, but I say unacceptable in this home. It might be acceptable in a friend's home.
Right.
But in this home, we're kind and we're loving and we respect each other.
So you have to make that ground within your home, and then you know
Yes.
you have to be examples. If you are shouting and berating the child all the time, then definitely the child is also going to
Then
give the
expect it
response
back.
in the
That's
same
right.
way. Let's touch a little bit about. I have about a minute or so left. About
Sure.
you have been meeting the South Asian families over here.
Yes.
Of course, every culture has its positive and negative some aspects.
course.
But definitely, when we compare the South Asian parenting with the mainstream, you know, here the parents want the children to be with them the whole life, you know, and even if they grow up, parents think they are still children. Of course,
Yes.
everyone thinks that way, but
Yes.
the way they are there, that after 18 they are not on their own, the parents still are with them and they want to, you know, be with them for the whole life.
And I love that. See, this is unusual.
Right.
And throughout the world, I wish so many other cultures would mimic this, that they
Right.
would take this example.
So
from
that
us.
bonding, you think it's
I love
better.
it. Yes, the other night I was at a party, and we were all dancing. I was trying to dance the way they dance. I was watching carefully and trying to mimic, right?
Right.
But there were young people. There were like 10-year-olds,
Right.
and there were 70-year-olds, and everything in between, and everyone was dancing together.
Right.
This wouldn't happen in most cultures,
Right.
and I love it because the families. This is one of the strengths of this community,
Right.
and then and so it makes it actually easier because there is such a love to be able to make some changes in your family. You'll be able to do it.
Great. It was a pleasure talking to you, and of
Oh,
course, in our further episodes, we'll be talking
Yes.
to you much in details about different topics. Thank you very much for your time.
You're so welcome.
Pleasure. Thank you. ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਖੀਰਲੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਪੌਲਾ ਫੈਲਿੰਗਮ ਨੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੁੱਖ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਸੰਬੰਧਾਂ ਦੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਦੀ ਫੋਕਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੀ। ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਿ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਪਏਗਾ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਵਾਇਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਐਜ਼ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲਸ ਜੇਕਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੇ ਆਓਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅਰਨ ਕਰਨੀ ਪਏਗੀ। ਜੇਕਰ ਆਪ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗਾਲਾਂ ਕੱਢਦੇ ਹੋ, ਬਰੇਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ, ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਕਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਬੱਚਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰੇਗਾ? ਸੋ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਗਏ ਜ਼ਮਾਨੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬੱਚਾ ਡਰ ਦੇ ਮਾਰੇ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਦੇਗਾ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਮੁਲਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁਣ ਬੱਚਾ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਉਹੀ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਚੋਇਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ। ਇਹ ਚੋਇਸ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੀ ਪਰਵਰਿਸ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ। ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਮਾਂ-ਬਾਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਹਰਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਦੇਣਾ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਬੇਟੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਬਾਰੇ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਕਬੂਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਗਲਤੀ ਹੋਈ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ। ਪਰ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਸੰਬੰਧ, ਓਪਨ ਕਮਿਊਨੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ, ਟਰਾਂਸਪੇਰੈਂਟ ਕਮਿਊਨੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਜਦੋਂ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਇਹ ਸਮਝਣਗੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਜਿੱਥੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਸੇ ਪੱਧਰ ਤੇ ਰੱਖਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜੇਕਰ ਬੱਚਾ ਕੁਝ ਗਲਤ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਅਫਰਮਲੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਵ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਟੋਲਰੇਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਇਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਆ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ ਅਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ।
Good job.